Look closely. Not at what she says, but at that half second when she thinks no one is watching. That blink, that sigh, that tiny roll of the eyes. That is the moment that quietly decides your future. In dark psychology, masks don't shatter loudly. They leak. And the leak always happens during boredom, during silence, or in the small, ordinary inconveniences of life, never during grand speeches or dramatic moments. Most men miss it because beauty hypnotizes and hope edits reality. Tonight, I'm showing you how she accidentally reveals her true nature. Without shouting, without drama. It happens when the phone battery dies, when plans stall, when attention drifts away from her. I've watched men lose years by ignoring these glitches, explaining them away, calling them accidents. They aren't accidents. They're previews. By the end of this series, you will never unsee them. And everything changes. This is where curiosity turns into survival for men. Here's the first real crack in the mask, and it looks harmless if you're not trained to see it. I call it main character syndrome. It reveals itself when the world offers beauty, silence, or meaning, and she treats it like a stage. Watch where her attention goes when nothing is demanded of her. Not during chaos, not during romance, but during stillness. In dark psychology, attention is truth currency. A man once took his partner to a place people dream of visiting their whole lives. Mountains, open sky, complete silence. She never saw any of it, only angles, filters, stories. When he suggested just being present, irritation flashed across her face for half a second. That flash mattered, because in that second, the world wasn't enough without witnesses, and neither was he. When everything exists to serve her image, you don't become a partner. You become furniture, and furniture is replaceable. But the next sign is even quieter and far more dangerous. Now comes the test almost every man fails, because it feels too small to matter. Boredom, no excitement, no stimulation, just time. In dark psychology, boredom is a psychological MRI. It shows what's inside when nothing is happening outside. Watch her during waiting rooms, traffic jams, quiet evenings. A self-contained woman settles into herself. A hollow one begins to panic. She fidgets. She sighs. She demands attention without asking for it. Entertain me. That sentence is never spoken aloud, but you feel it, pressing down on your chest. When she cannot sit with her own thoughts, she will use yours as fuel. Your focus becomes her oxygen, and the moment you turn inward, she feels abandoned. This isn't neediness, it's dependency. And dependency always evolves into control. Men think they can manage this. They can't, because once you become the antidote to someone's emptiness, you're never allowed to rest. And then comes the part that only appears when things go slightly wrong. Pay attention now, because this is where true nature surfaces under pressure, not during tragedy, during inconvenience. In dark psychology, minor crises are truth accelerants. A wrong turn, a delayed flight, no hot water. Watch what happens in those moments. A healthy partner turns toward you. It's us versus the problem. A hidden egocentric? She turns on you instantly. The problem becomes proof of your failure. Her voice sharpens. Her body language closes. Support evaporates. This is not stress. This is exposure. When discomfort arrives, the mask doesn't crack. It slides off. If you become the enemy over something small, you will be annihilated when life gets serious. Men ignore this sign because they tell themselves, she's just emotional. No, she's revealing her operating system. And once you see how she reacts when control slips slightly, you can already predict how she'll behave when everything is truly on the line. Now we move to a signal most men confuse with charm. Money, not wealth, not status. Respect for effort. In dark psychology, how someone treats resources they didn't earn reveals how they value your life energy. Watch the pattern. Excessive ordering, minimal consumption, zero awareness. It looks playful. It feels minor, but it's not about food. It's about labor invisibility. Your time becomes abstract to her. Your exhaustion doesn't register. When resources feel infinite, so do you, and infinite things are wasted. Men excuse this because attraction clouds judgment. But what she throws away casually today becomes what she discards emotionally tomorrow. time, health, patience. The deeper issue isn't spending, it's entitlement without gratitude. And entitlement never stays contained, it spreads. Which brings us to the next sign, one that looks like jealousy, but it isn't about love at all. This next signal hides behind a familiar word, but its meaning is darker. Jealousy. Not fear of losing you, but fear of losing control over your attention. In dark psychology, this is called instrumental jealousy. Watch what happens when you enter flow, focused, calm, fulfilled, working, creating, building. That's the moment her true wiring activates. A healthy partner protects that state. A parasitic one disrupts it. Suddenly, you're needed for something trivial. A question that can wait. A request that feels urgent for no reason. Noise replaces silence. This isn't coincidence. Your independent joy threatens her dominance. If pleasure doesn't involve her, it feels like betrayal. Over time, this destroys your growth, not with words, not with conflict, but by slowly eroding your freedom. And then comes the most revealing weapon she uses, language itself. Listen carefully during conflict, because language never lies. In dark psychology, sentence structure reveals responsibility patterns. Notice phrases like, "You made me angry," "You forced me to react," "This happened because of you." Do you hear it? She isn't acting. She's being acted upon. In her inner world, she's an object, not an agent. Objects don't choose. Objects aren't accountable. That means blame always travels outward, and sooner or later, it lands on you. This becomes especially visible when she talks about her past. Every ex was toxic. Every breakup was survival. Every story casts her as the innocent victim. Statistically impossible, psychologically revealing. If she never owned even one mistake before you, she won't own one with you. You're not special. You're next. And the next test proves this even more brutally, because it happens when you finally succeed. Success exposes what failure can't. In dark psychology, joy is more threatening to insecure people than pain. When you win, watch her first second. Not the words. The micro-reaction. A real partner expands with your happiness. An envious one contracts. Energy drops. The room cools. Suddenly your achievement becomes inconvenient. So you'll be busy now. Must be nice, or worse. Indifference. Your victory doesn't feed her narrative, so it gets minimized. This is also where double standards surface. Total access to your phone, your time, your location, but hers remains protected, private, guarded. Control disguised as trust. Projection disguised as concern. The more she monitors you, the more she reveals herself. And once you notice how she behaves when you're not present, you'll understand how calculated the mask truly is. Watch her when you step away. This is where performance ends. In dark psychology, consistency without supervision is character. Notice how she treats your friends, your family, strangers. When you're not there to witness it, the smile switches off instantly. Boredom replaces warmth. The phone suddenly matters more than people. This isn't mood, it's calculation. Respect that only exists under observation is not respect, it's strategy. The same truth appears in how she treats service staff. Not rudeness, invisibility, no eye contact, no gratitude. Just functions performing tasks. People who rank humans by usefulness will eventually rank you the same way. And the most brutal reveal comes when you're weak, sick, injured, exhausted. If your pain irritates her, if your vulnerability feels like inconvenience, you are not loved. You are being used. And the final test is the one almost no man dares to apply. This is the final filter, the one that ends illusions instantly. The test of no. In dark psychology, boundaries are truth serum. Say no calmly, politely, reasonably, and watch what happens next. A healthy person accepts it, without punishment, without guilt, without withdrawal. A controlling one interprets it as rebellion. Silence becomes a weapon. Guilt replaces dialogue. Affection is withdrawn to reassert dominance. This reaction isn't emotional, it's territorial. Your autonomy threatens her internal hierarchy. That's why men ignore these signs. Beauty creates a halo. Hope edits memory. Desire overrides pattern recognition. But leaks never stop. They only get louder. These moments weren't mistakes. They were confessions. You were warned in whispers. before the damage came in screams.
Don't fix.
Don't explain. Don't negotiate with revealed truth. Awareness isn't cynicism. It's self-respect. When the mask slips, believe it, because your future is decided in those seconds.